A Wisconsin judge putting on hold this order requiring election officials to verify the citizenship of all 3.6 million registered voters in the state before the next election in February. The state Justice Department sought the stay of the order while that case is being appealed. Attorneys arguing more time is needed. The order could not be complete in time for next year's elections. The fight over verifying citizenship status coming as President Trump's Department of Justice looks to crack down on voter fraud and non-citizen voting. Currently, Wisconsin law requires voters to certify they are U.S. citizens, but does not require election officials to obtain proof of that.